something that you can do. Relax your mind, lay back and groove with mine. You gotta feel that heat, and we can ride the boogie. Share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you all night. Dance you in the sunlight. Gonna rock with you all night. Gonna rock the night away.
Good morning, happy Friday. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. And I know that the more you know, Andrew Caravella shared with us that this was, that Thriller, that album was released today, in 1983. But this is from my favorite Michael Jackson album, Off the Wall. He was such a monstrous talent.
He really was.
Really enjoyed his music. Very, very much. I think that the industry chewed him up and spit him out, and it had its hooks in him from when he was 6 years old. So, it's a tough business to be in.
Yeah, you can tell that his life was really formed by what he experienced in that respect, and he just, in many ways, became sort of a bizarre parody of himself. And how much of that was just the pressure of what he was dealing with.
So I will say, though, apparently tests were published that he actually did, or his medical record was published for this one issue. He really did have vitiligo.
Yeah, once they came forward, that I believed it. I didn't,
Except the people that I know who've had vitiligo, it's very splotchy. But I'm sure he had makeup or whatever to kind of smooth out the splotches.
Yeah.
And what a power it would have been if he'd just let it go.
Yeah, right.
To other people who have the skin disorder.
Well, now we've seen, what's that one model that has it, and you've seen people. It's not being viewed as strange or ugly. It's really just sort of kind of a cool difference.
It is a cool difference.
Kind
of like having your eyes be an odd color, or an unusual color. I don't want to say odd because that has negative connotations.
Yes.
An unusual color, and so it's It's a condition. I've known people with it. It's not painful or anything.
Nope.
It just, your skin starts losing the melanin. It should start losing its
Well,
pigment.
my skin started losing its melanin about the moment I was born. And I've gotten paler and paler.
You've never had any.
I know, and paler, except when I'm in the sun. And then I turn bright pink, followed by an orangish red, and a lot of pain. A lot of pain.
A lot of pain. So Christmas Tree Lane is tonight.
It is, and you and I are going. I'm so excited.
Now we're going to be a little late.
Yeah,
because we got an event right before.
Yes,
but then we'll go, and tomorrow I swear we're going to sleep all day.
Well, not all day, because I have a fraternity Founders Day event to go to tomorrow.
Well, you have fun with that. I am not in your fraternity.
You are not in my college fraternity.
No, you go have fun with that.
But no, Christmas Tree Lane is an amazing event. It's to benefit Santa Claus Incorporated, which gives out thousands of toys every year to foster kids and low-income families, and just really does an amazing job. And this is the cool event. It's really in two phases. Tonight's sort of the fancy dinner part. But they have all these beautifully decorated Christmas trees that people have just gone way over the top, and then they've loaded up these trees underneath with all kinds of gifts.
Right.
And the gifts can go from the traditional sort of, this is for a family with small kids, so you've got bicycles and remote controlled cars and all kinds of toys and fun stuff, for boys and girls, all the way up to the very adult oriented trees that
not
are
adult oriented. Don't get the wrong
no.
idea. It's
okay.
a family organization.
It is, but you might have someone who's donated, like a case of very nice wine and cigars and things that obviously that wouldn't be gifts for kids.
So each one of the trees has a sponsor or two,
Yeah.
and each one of the trees is designed by a local designer. So, and they're beautiful, and they all have themes. And so you might find, the theme is more nebulous, like Winter Wonderland, and it'll be
Yeah.
all white and blue, or it could be, I love trains, and everything is train related. I mean,
Yes.
so it's up to the designer and the sponsor to decide what they want to have on the trees.
And when you get there, they sell you basically raffle tickets that you then put in the box for the tree that you want to have for you. And then they do a drawing. Now, it's not just the night event where they're selling the raffle tickets. The next day, they have a daytime a lunch event, right?
Yeah, and I believe that one is if it's not completely sold out, it's almost sold out, and there are 1,000 people that are going to be at that luncheon.
Yeah, and all of those people are buying raffles. So there's a ton of people raffling on each of these trees. And I've never won one, and I really wouldn't. Honestly, I wouldn't know what to do if I did win one because these trees are just so amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
But they deliver it to your house with all the stuff, and help you set it up. I mean, it's a wow.
It would make our existing tree look a little Charlie Brownish,
right?
Wah, wah.
Right. Anyway, it's an amazing event, and all the money raised goes to such a wonderful organization.
They literally help tens of thousands of kids each year.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to discourage people. 1,000 people are going to be at the luncheon event. There's a reason for that. It's pretty amazing. And there's a full Macy's shopping, or Macy's fashion show.
Yeah.
So if you want to see the upcoming fashions I think they have some winter, but then they're moving into spring. And this time of year, they're looking at resort wear because people travel. And it's always a lot of fun, clearly, because they sell out or come close to selling out every year.
And I've known people who've just gone as guests. I know people who've volunteered for this. I mean, the people that are involved with this, it is a high energy, cool event. If you've never gone,
tonight's event, there's going to be dinner and dancing, and the band. Now they've had this gentleman come on, I think for 3 or 4 years. It's Matt Mauser and the Sinatra Big Band. He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
If you like big band music, maybe you're a fan of Michael Bublé, maybe you're a fan of Sinatra. You're gonna love him. He's got really the band is wonderful, and of course there's dancing, but there's also they've got boutiques, right? So and this is for both events. They've got boutiques. So if you want to do a little Christmas shopping,
yes,
and selling everything from bags or purses to whatever you can dream up, and of course there's other silent auction and live auction items as well.
Yes, and I'm going to put Erin on the spot here because she said dinner and dancing. Do I get a dance tonight?
Oh, I don't know.
Give me a dance. Promise me on the air. Promise me. No pressure, but promise me.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We can dance.
Yay!
I'm a girl in the band kind of person. I'm not a girl on the dance floor kind of person.
You like to dance with me.
I do.
I'm gonna get her out on the dance floor, folks, and maybe I might get someone to take a picture of it. So
God!
So we'll have evidence. Evidence.
No.
She's like, no, no evidence. I'll dance with you, but no evidence. Oh my goodness!
So it's going to be a lot of fun, and lots of people are there. It's you want to go out and see a bunch of friends and make new friends. It's definitely the place to do it. For more information, you go to friendsofsantaclausinc.com. That's friendsofsantaclausinc.com. And who's not a friend of Santa Claus?
Right. I love Santa.
I love Santa too. So on to the news in the area. Mudslides have shut down Highway 38 near Forest Falls and San Bernardino Mountains. And so it is unbelievable. It's actually, as a matter of fact, we have friends who live in Angeles Oaks. They had to take a dirt road home last night. Thank goodness they have a big truck with 4-wheel drive. Yeah,
well, they've lived up there long enough. They know how this works. They lost a vehicle years ago in a rock slide.
Yeah.
Horrible rock slide.
And this is a commercial for, I think it was a Passat that they were in. It handled it because those rocks were coming down on the roof of that car, and it didn't collapse.
Yeah. So they were very lucky, but they've been through everything up there. But yeah, mudslides closed the road, and this is partly predictable. Of course, where they're at, the mudslides weren't because of a fire, but we just live in an area where we have these issues, right? Especially when the first big rain comes, because anything that's loose or been loose, it's coming down.
Yep.
And
there had been some fire in that area in Forest Falls this past summer, that and around that turnoff. And you can see in this picture that's in the Press Enterprise, kind of the blackened vegetation and then mud everywhere. And this poor guy in a Jeep, thank God he's in a Jeep.
Right.
And I can't tell if it's stuck or it's stuck. I can't tell, it's stuck. So I imagine that for every single rain, this is going to be a problem all season.
Yeah.
And through all of the burn areas, there were some burn areas that they evacuated everybody, knocked on doors, because we talked about this yesterday. In Lake Elsinore, where the Holy Fire was this past summer, they knocked on doors and said, you have to get out, because it's a very hilly, foothills kind of area. So,
well, here's the thing that you mentioned, the picture with the Jeep. There's a lot of folks who see these sort of flow areas, and they think, oh, I can make it through.
No, you can't.
Right? And so they start out, and then once they get into it, then they realize it's too late then, right?
Yeah.
Now you're out in it, and your vehicle's stalled, or you're stuck, or worse, you get washed away or covered, and then, of course, you create a double risk, because now the rescue personnel have to come out and put themselves on the line to get you out of there. And so, please just be smart. Don't try to cut across these flow areas, these debris flows, whether it's water, whether it's mud, whatever. Just don't do it.
Now, Caltrans is out there all the time trying to clean up areas as they happen, because they realize that people have to get, around. You can go to Caltrans District 8 on Twitter, at Caltrans and the number 8, to get updated information from Caltrans. Again, that's at Caltrans 8. So with that, let's take a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA. We will be right back.
Welcome to another edition of The More You Know. I'm Andrew Caravella. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. Congratulations. Today is National Stay at Home Because You're Well Day. I like this one. You see, today is dedicated to calling into work and telling them you are staying home even though you are well. The day isn't just an excuse to simply relax and get things done around the house. Now, this is a pretty risky holiday to celebrate, so most people, please use caution. It was created by Ruth and Thomas Roy of Wellcat Holidays. Also on this day in history, 1982, Michael Jackson's Thriller album is released worldwide. It went on to win 8 Grammy Awards, and it was Album of the Year in 1984. The stars of I Love Lucy, Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, were married on this day in 1940. National treasure, Clay Aiken. Clay Aiken was born on this day in 1978, as well as a beloved American author, Mark Twain, in 1835. Evel Knievel died on this day in 2007, and so did Oscar Wilde in 1900. I'm Andrew Caravella, and this has been The More You Know for November 30th.
This is Dick from Carpet Masters. Carpet Masters has been serving the Inland Empire for over 55 years. Carpet Masters uses extraction cleaning for your carpet because there's no better cleaning to remove the soil from your carpet. All of our furniture cleaning is done by hand in your home or in our plant. Carpet Masters also offers dry cleaning for fine furniture. Call Carpet Masters at 793-7215. That's 793-7215 for Carpet Masters.
It's time to shop in the cool, relaxed comfort of the Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands, conveniently located on the I-10 freeway between the Alabama and Tennessee exits. Bring the kids too and watch them play in the only indoor fun center, High Five Indoor Playground, where parents are welcomed on the playground. Birthday celebrations are encouraged, so make plans for some great fun at the mall. More reasons why the Tri-City Center is called the Mall with a Heart.
Fly me to the moon.
Celebrate the holidays with Friends of Santa Claus, Inc. at this year's Christmas Tree Lane events on Friday, November 30th and Saturday, December 1st. The Friday evening gala will dazzle you with dinner and dancing to the musical styles of Matt Mauser and the Sinatra Big Band. The Saturday luncheon will delight and surprise you with the always popular Macy's Fashion Show. Both events will feature silent and live auctions, fabulous boutiques, and beautifully decorated Christmas trees created by local designers. As always, the events support the tens of thousands of foster and low-income children served by Santa Claus Incorporated all year long. To get tickets or for more information, please visit www.friendsofsantaclausinc.com. That's www.friendsofsantaclausinc.com. That's www.friendsofsantaclausinc.com.
I love you. KCAA, where every day is a great day.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. I want to let this play for just a second.
She looked at him with those soft gas so innocent and blue.
Such a good song. This is Bob Seger. For all you people who are really young and never heard the song before, it's Bob Seger, Hollywood Nights. All right, on to the news. Tobin, you pick the next one.
Well, I want to jump in. This is not one you found, but we talked about it yesterday. I heard on the news that there were some firefighters that were hit helping a crash victim on the 15 freeway.
Oh.
And I wanted to give an update to this story. You know, this is the tragedy, right? I mentioned before when firefighters go out to rescue people who've done stupid stuff, and then they're putting their lives on the line. Well, here were some firefighters that were trying to help a crash victim on the freeway, and the motorists had spun out on Rainslick 15 freeway, were hit by a second vehicle, and then perhaps a third on Thursday morning, officials said. 2 of them were taken to the hospital, and the other 2 were just treated at the scene and then released. By early afternoon, Ontario city officials said the 2 hospital firefighters were released. The original crash had happened at 9:31, and then at 9:44 they got the report of the second crash. The firefighters were tending to at least one person in the spun-out vehicle on the northbound 15 freeway just as it was approaching the 10 freeway. And we know that area really jams up there. And then 2 vehicles plowed into the area where the firefighters were working.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
Here's a crazy thought. Put your phone down. Put your phone down. Before you leave, here's the thought. Before you leave for wherever you're leaving work or whatever, put it on the podcast or the radio station here. Put it on KCAA and just leave it there. You don't have to touch it. You can sit through the commercials. Maybe you want to click through the commercials, but you don't have to. You could sit through the commercials and you don't have to focus on anything but your driving.
Yeah, exactly. Now, there's another disturbing story, and you and I have talked about some of the different fitness places around, which ones we like and which ones we don't like. But we've always kind of joked a little bit about Planet Fitness because they do things that are sort of anti-fitness, like feeding you pizza. Come work out at our gym and we'll give you pizza and donuts. Okay. So we've joked at their expense a little bit in the past, but now a very serious story is coming forward. A former employee is suing them, saying that she was raped on a business trip.
Crazy, right?
Right.
And that the whole kind of culture of this gym is debauchery.
Yeah. So a former manager at the New Hampshire-based Planet Fitness has sued the company, saying that she was subjected to a male-dominated, debaucherous environment that included sexual harassment and rape. Senior management at the Hampton headquarters organized drinking activities such as Fireball Friday, said Casey Willard, who joined the company in 2015. Employees competed regarding the number of shots they could consume in the least amount of time at work. And one manager brought vodka-based gummy worms to work, the lawsuit said. Willard,
they can't control themselves for 8 hours a day?
No. Willard, who was new at the time and followed manager's directions, sometimes found herself drunk at work by 11 a.m. Yeah. Willard also claims in her lawsuit that she was drugged and raped on a business trip in September 2017 to California by a company manager and his friends. Willard also said that a manager initiated a sexual relationship with her in violation of an anti-fraternization policy, and that she was concerned that she might lose her job. She eventually notified the company earlier this year that she was unable to return to work, the lawsuit said. McCall Goslin, a spokesman for Planet Fitness, said in a statement Thursday that the company investigated Willard's claims and fired an employee for violation of company policy. The company later independently learned of a consensual relationship between Willard and a supervisor that Willard didn't bring to its attention, Goslin said. The supervisor was fired. Willard is seeking a jury trial and unspecified damages.
Okay, so it wasn't the whole Planet Fitness. It was this one gym. And, what she was saying at the direction of her managers, she was drunk by 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Her manager told her she had to drink.
Yeah.
And maybe he did. I don't know. But
yeah.
That just sounds, I don't know. It just sounds weird. And didn't any of the gym members notice that the staff were, a little tipsy?
Right.
It just, the whole thing sounds bizarre.
It is. And I think about the culture of the gyms I've been into. Usually you walk in there, and these are some pretty excited, amped up people. They're all in great shape, and you can tell they're all spend a lot of their time working out there at the gym. And they're always trying to upsell you, right? Let me get you this new thing, or let's get a trainer for you, I can't imagine doing that in an environment where they're drinking and doing the stuff that she describes.
Yeah.
That just doesn't fit with my image of a gym.
Well, neither do pizza and donuts.
No. No.
So, well, it'll be interesting to watch this move forward. The question then is, if there's a whole kind of sexually charged atmosphere in a workplace and everybody's playing along, first of all, there shouldn't be. But if everybody's playing along, so how are people supposed to know that someone's uncomfortable? And I understand that the dynamic of you don't want to get in trouble, you don't want to be seen as the complainer, you don't want to be seen as the one that is going to jeopardize someone's job, and so you play along, and it creates an environment where there's no way that you'll know if somebody's going to go to to file the lawsuit. Anybody could.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Even if you think, oh, everybody likes it, it's all right. No, you really don't know that. Well, and you can't know that.
And it's because of incidences like this that in the past, many companies have these anti-fraternization policies because they recognize that when there's a power inequality between managers and employees, that what one person views as a consensual relationship, the other person may view as non-consensual.
So it's not like Hillary Clinton said, she was an adult.
Yeah. It's not. President of the United States says, hey, let's get together. You probably.
And you're an intern. What are you going to do?
Yeah. And even if she was consensual, because she's attracted to the power, it creates an environment that it shouldn't create.
Indeed.
Let's just say the words. Ew. That's gross.
Ew.
You did that in your Hillary voice.
I'm Hillary Clinton. She has the most grating voice. She and Michelle Wolf. Those are the two. You remember Michelle Wolf? She did the White House Correspondents' Dinner last year. God. Oh, turn that TV off.
Erin has very sensitive ears for if our listeners don't know this. And she's, particularly with music, I've taken her to events, and if the music isn't right, like if you got a band that's just like not quite hitting the notes or a singer who's just a little bit off, Erin is got to get out of that room quick. Like her ears are going to start bleeding or something, because she's very sensitive. And
do not sing off key.
Do not sing off key.
Well, or consistently, because everybody hits a sour note at some point. Everybody does.
I hit them every other note. So, but no, Erin's. So in certain voices too. It's funny. We'll be watching something on TV, and she's like, "Turn that off. Turn that off." And I'm like, "What? What?" But it's because the sound is just driving her crazy. I'm like, "Okay, baby, I'll turn it off. I'll do that for you."
Because we're telling people how to torture me. I'll be in my head, la 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 la, because I don't want to listen.
Yeah.
So, should people, cancel their Planet Fitness memberships? I don't think so. I hope
just ask them to share the booze. Pass the bottle down.
You want some vodka with that pizza?
Can I have some vodka-laced gummy worms? Come on, people. I pay dues here. I want the stuff.
So is that like Jell-O shots?
I'm guessing.
God.
People have come up with the weirdest stuff.
I know. And here I'm weird. I really don't like the feeling of being drunk. I like beer and I like wine and I like cocktails.
Yeah.
But I don't like being drunk. So if I start to feel tipsy, I stop because I just, I just don't like being out of control of my own body.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm not in the norm on that one.
Yes. For me, it's not the getting tipsy part that's bad. It's the next day. I just the hangover part. So that's why I'm very much a teetotaler in the party scene.
Yeah, you are. Well, I mean, you come home and have a beer after work, but that's it.
Yeah, a beer.
So exactly, or two. So this is we're going to take a break. I'm Erin Breaker,
and I'm Tobin Breaker,
and we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. We'll be right back.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292 FQ Riverside, and K293 CF Moreno Valley.
NBC News Radio, I'm Lisa Carter. President Trump says NAFTA is being replaced today as the U.S., Canada, and Mexico sign a new trade agreement. The leaders of each country met at the G20 summit in Argentina to give their blessings to the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement.
In the United States, the new trade pact will support high-paying manufacturing jobs and promote greater access for American exports across the range of sectors, including our farming, manufacturing, and service industries.
And the president is reacting to reports his organization considered giving Vladimir Putin a penthouse as part of a deal to build a Trump tower in Moscow while on the campaign trail. Trump tweeting, "I'm a very good developer who decided to run for president and continue to run my business. Very legal and very cool," and talked about it on the campaign trail. Says he lightly looked at doing a building somewhere in Russia, put up zero money, zero guarantees, and didn't do the project. Lisa Carter, NBC News Radio.
It's time for traffic on KCAA and KQLH. I'm Erin Brinker. In Hesperia on the 15 southbound after Joshua Street, an injury wreck is blocking the middle lane. In the San Bernardino National Forest, chains are required on Highway 18, both eastbound and westbound, between Green Valley Lake and the 38. That's North Shore Drive. Train requirements are in that area. They're required for all vehicles except for four-wheel drive with snow tires on all four wheels. In Corona on the 91 eastbound at Auto Center, a stalled big rig is in the right lane on the Surface Club on-ramp to the 91 east. And finally in Ontario on the 10 eastbound approaching the 15, a crash has made its way over to the right shoulder. Slow traffic is backed up for Milliken. This has been your traffic report on KCAA. We are the stations that leave no listener behind, and KQLH 92.5, the music for America's Main Street. I'm Erin Brinker.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Rod Tanner. For the final day of November, we'll have isolated showers this morning. Look for a mostly sunny day with a high of 62. Partly cloudy conditions overnight with a low of 46. Saturday should be mostly sunny, our high 60. Look for a slight chance for a shower Saturday night. Unity partly cloudy, a low of 46. Have sunshine Sunday with a high of 60. Monday looks sunny with a high of 65. I'm Rod Tanner, broadcasting live from the Tri-City Center at the 10 and 210 freeways. We are the trifecta of talk in Southern California. KCAA 102.3 FM Riverside, 106.5 FM Redlands, and the Legacy 1050 AM Loma Linda, San Bernardino.
Drivers, when it's time to visit the DMV, avoid the long lines and save time by calling toll-free 833-DMV-LINE. That's 833-DMV-5463.
KCAA.
And I stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, and yawn and stretch and try to come to life. Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping. Out on the streets the traffic starts jumping with folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we love some Dolly Parton. We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050 FM 106.5 and FM 102.3. Okay, so last night I posted on my Facebook page a request for all the prayer warriors that follow me on social media. A friend of a friend has a son who was lost with his girlfriend who has MS, lost in the Arizona desert, and of course the big storm that passed through us, passed there as well. He only had a t-shirt on and jeans, and the search and rescue couldn't find them. Well, the Lord answers prayers. He is home safe.
Oh, good.
They found him.
Wow, and the girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, she couldn't leave the car.
Yeah.
Because she has MS. She can't walk.
Okay.
I just, thank you to all those prayer warriors out there. That the mom, of course, was absolutely apoplectic, as anyone would be, just terrified and beside herself because, this is her son who's 26 years old. Yeah. And so, praise the Lord, he's been found. She's been, both of them had been found. And I'm sure they have a harrowing tale.
Yes, I'm sure they do. Now, on a lighter but also happy note, Erin, last night your Dallas Cowboys won a football game.
One, like they only ever win one. Did you all hear that backhanded compliment? Your football team, which totally sucks, finally won something last night. Thank you, Tobin.
You're welcome. No, and they defeated the top-ranked team in the league, the New Orleans Saints, and they did it with their defense. And so Dallas has had kind of a weird season. They've not had the best record, and a lot of people thought they would lose last night's game. I'll be honest, I picked New Orleans to win.
So you're kind of bitter because you're in a pool and you picked New Orleans.
No, there's a silver lining to that, because with the loss, with the loss of New Orleans, guess whose team is now in first place again?
The Rams?
The Rams.
That would be your team.
That would be my team. That's right. So New Orleans, the Saints, Aaron, had won 10 straight games in a row, and they were averaging 37.2 points per game. And do you know how many points they were able to score on Dallas?
How many?
10.
Oh.
The Dallas defense just smothered them, did things that they didn't know how to respond to. And so this is a very different look from Dallas. So we typically think of Dallas as being this, very offensively minded team. But they've got some new players, some young new players that are really just having an amazing time right now. Dallas has the 4th best red zone defense, the 3rd best scoring defense, and certainly the best young linebacker duo in football. And that's according to DeMarcus Lawrence, who was one of the commentators on the game. And I can't read this thing, but it's a statement from an interview with one of these young players, and it's so full of F-bombs and foul-mouthed stuff. But this guy,
beep beep
right?
beep. Can you hear it? Beep.
But this guy was so amped up, and the way he describes what they were going to do to the Saints, and then what they actually did to them, is just remarkable. The Saints only got, get this, a total of 176 yards of offense during the game.
Oh my gosh!
Not only is that a season low. It's also a low for the Sean Payton, Drew Brees era. They've never had a game with fewer than 170 yards of offense since the last time they were that low was back in 2002, and it was before Brees was even on the team, and the quarterback back then was a guy named Aaron Brooks. So they really shut down the Saints offense, and I knew that would put a big smile on your face for Friday, knowing that Dallas did. And now Dallas is in really strong position in their division. Before it was looking like it was going to be a 3-way tie, and now Dallas has pulled a game or so ahead, and it's like, wow.
So, I have to be honest, I don't have time to watch football right now. I just don't. But, I love my Cowboys. I've loved them since I was 7 years old. And, we've had some really amazing years. And the 90s were glorious. The 70s were glorious.
Yeah.
Even though I was a little kid in the 70s. And then they've just not had that same, since Jimmy Johnson left, it really... haven't had
all
the
those
same
coaches,
yeah,
right, and they just didn't seem to have the same quite the same caliber of players,
what? But in some, I remember many years where it was like, oh, the Cowboys have this great lineup, they're really awesome, and then they were inconsistent.
Yeah,
and so part of it is coaching. I mean, a lot of it is coaching, and I think that they it's whatever they're doing now, it seems to be working.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I had to give you this happy story, because I knew that it would put a smile on your face. And who doesn't want to smile on a Friday?
Well, exactly. I'm having some real computer issues. I need to reboot my computer, but I want to talk about this Southwest Airlines story.
Oh, yeah.
The little girl who has the unusual name. So, and Southwest says they're sorry. A woman and her 5-year-old daughter went on a Southwest flight, and I think they were going from California to Texas. And the person who the Southwest employee who was looking at the boarding passes saw the name, and her name is spelled ABCDE, and it's pronounced Absidy. And so apparently the ticket person, the person who was grabbing the boarding passes, I don't know what you call her, the clerk.
Yeah.
She thought it was hilarious, so much so that she was audibly making fun of this 5-year-old girl's name, and then she snapped a picture of it and put it on social media. Now, this is a little girl's name, right? And so yes, her mom should be figuratively, not literally, figuratively slapped for naming her daughter Absidy.
Yes.
But come on, she's 5 years old. Don't pick on her.
Yeah, exactly. As a public school teacher, I have seen every amazing name. Notice I called them amazing, that you could possibly imagine. And I have never seen an Absidy, but I have had names where I look at them and I'm like, I have no clue how I'm going to pronounce that, because of the unusual spellings that some people have come up with.
Yes.
And I try to be very sensitive, because I have an unusual name. right? And I've had people kind of mess with my name over the years, and so I try to be sensitive and try to pronounce the name the way the kid says it. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes it's just so unusual. I really struggle with it. And so sometimes I've had kids who say, well, just call me this. And they know. They feel bad too, and they know, and they'll just say, well, some people call me, and they give me an easier name, But it's hard. I mean, the 5-year-old does not have the wherewithal to deal with any of that.
No, and all they know is that, oh, I'm bad. They're making fun of me. This is an adult in this place, and everybody's looking at me. Think about how a 5-year-old thinks. They'll just think that they're bad. They don't understand that their mother should be, figuratively, not literally, slapped.
Yeah, I would not have had a clue of how to say that name. I would have spelled it out. Is there somebody here named A, B, C, D, E? And even just saying that is kind of would want to make me have the giggles a little bit, because it's unusual.
Why would you do that to your child?
Yeah.
I mean, this is their brand for their entire life.
Yeah.
And you may think, oh, that sounds interesting. Get a dog and name the dog Absidy.
Yeah.
Name your child something. You can make them unusual. They're beautiful Irish names.
Yes.
And I know Irish names are mispronounced a lot,
Yes.
but at least there's a historical context. Name your child Saoirse or Aoife or Ronan or whatever.
Yes. Well, we had one of our first big arguments in our relationship, Aaron, over the name of a child.
Yes.
When Aaron and I were dating, one of the caveats I had that the woman that I would marry would allow me to name my firstborn son. What, Aaron? What were we going to name him?
Obadiah Zachariah.
And I told her we'd call him Ozzy, right? Because the initials would be OZ, Obadiah Zachariah, and we call him Ozzy or Oz. I thought it was going to be the coolest thing. And when we were married and my wife got pregnant with our first child, our son, I got so much pressure. My mom, my sister-in-laws, everybody, and my wife just immediately caved. And
caved?
Because you promised. You promised.
Okay, you asked me that on our first date.
I did. That's how important it was to me that I brought it up right at the beginning. and
no,
I was so disrespected. But in the end, they bent me to their will.
Oh, please!
They used their power.
Do you know what I had to do to get you to change your mind? I said, "How about Alexander the Great Brinker?" And you went, "Oh, I like that."
I did like that.
His name is Andrew Alexander,
and we just call him Alexander the Great.
Because we want a humble child. We do not call him that.
But names have power, and and our son actually thanks you every day for fighting that battle for him. But I really think if we'd called him Oz or Ozzy, he would have been fine. I think it would have been a great name.
Except, my argument was, we're not Amish. And I've seen, African Americans generally have the ability to get a little more creative with their names.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's more socially acceptable. And so, if we were African American, maybe we could do that. If we were Amish, maybe we could do that. But we're neither of those things. And so he would just have been bullied. It just would not have been good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So with that, let's take a break. I'm Aaron Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
You're super excited about being Tobin Brinker.
I am. You know what? I'm going to change my name to Ozzy.
Knock yourself out. And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for a full or part-time sales position and you have radio, TV, or print media experience, KCAA has a great opportunity waiting for you that pays the highest commissions in the market. KCAA is the only station in the IE that broadcasts on 3 frequencies, so advertisers receive 3 ads for 1 low rate. This makes KCAA a must-buy for every local business. If you're interested in a sales position with us, email ceo@kcaaradio.com.
Any Tint Window Tinting remind listeners to take a moment and recognize our men and women in uniform who are serving our country. Take a few moments and write a letter of encouragement to those who are separated from family. Their sacrifices help keep America strong and free. This reminder from Any Tint Window Tinting, serving our area with pride and integrity and honesty. For the best window tinting in town, call the pros today at 951-688-0397. That's 951-688-0397. That's Any Tint Window Tinting, on the air because they care.
ABS Collision Center reminds listeners that another holiday season is right around the corner, but for many it may turn out to be a less than joyous one. Open your hearts to the less fortunate by dropping off a toy at one of the Toys for Joy drop-off points around town. This reminder from ABS Collision Center, a privately owned collision center in the Inland Empire with over 35 years of combined experience in the collision repair industry. For expert collision work in a state-of-the-art facility, turn to the experts at ABS Collision Center today at 909-829-1188. That's 909-829-1188. Or visit abscollisioncenterfontana.com. That's ABS Collision Center, on the air because they care.
Any Tint Window Tinting remind listeners to take a moment and recognize our men and women in uniform who are serving our country. Take a few moments and write a letter of encouragement to those who are separated from family. Their sacrifices help keep America strong and free. This reminder from Any Tint Window Tinting, serving our area with pride and integrity and honesty. For the best window tinting in town, call the pros today at 951-688-0397. That's 951-688-0397. That's Any Tint Window Tinting, on the air because they care.
The Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands is home to some of the best bargain shopping in the region. Cityware, Style for Less, and Dollar Tree, to name just a few. Friendly shop owners and staff are waiting for you to stop in for the many specials and bargains they're excited to share. The Tri-City Shopping Center is located just off I-10 between Alabama and the Tennessee exits in Redlands. Make it your home for all your shopping needs, and you'll know why the Tri-City Center is called the Mall with a Heart.
This is KCAA.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinkert.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. So there are two stories, one out of the UK and one from here in California in Downey, of people who had massive tumors. Massive tumors. One woman thought that she was pregnant with like 7 babies, or not. I mean, that's what it looked like.
Yes.
And she knew that she wasn't pregnant because her pregnancy tests kept coming back negative. And you know, then she thought, well, I'm just getting fat, and it grew and it grew and it grew and it grew, and it was this massive, massive tumor, like 60 pounds or something. This Downey man, they thought that that he had a beer belly. Turned out he had a 77-pound tumor.
Can you imagine carrying around a 77-pound tumor? I mean, that is a massive size, right? I mean, you think about, like, our son was 7 pounds when he was born, right?
Yes.
This is like carrying like 11 babies.
Right?
This guy had 11
yes.
11 7-pound babies.
So,
wow.
And he just thought he was fat.
Yeah.
It took 1.5 years to discover that his large belly was actually a 77-pound tumor. In the meantime, he watched it grow and grow and grow. And if you look at him, you know, he kept thinking he was fat, except that he's got no fat around his body anywhere else except that enormous belly that he had. You know, it's not like his arms were huge or his face was huge or anything. So when he took the LA Metro to work every morning, people would stare at him. He wore big jackets and try to cover it up, but it was very noticeable. When he sat at his desk where he did his billing for the IT company where he worked, his stomach would just kind of hang there between his legs like he was a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
Some assumed that he was overly fond of beer. One man approached him at a Circle K convenience store where he lives and rubbed his stomach and told him he shouldn't drink because it's not good for you. And Hernandez just laughed because he goes, I don't drink. So that he didn't even, it's like people thought it was a beer belly, but the man never imbibed.
Yeah.
He also didn't overeat. He tried a plant-based diet, but nothing helped. He said it kept growing until it became so voluminous it resembled a beach ball. Like it was the kind of, it hung out under T-shirts and all of that. and the rest of his body was getting thinner. Worried about his appearance, he went to see a doctor who told him some people just gain weight differently. So I want to go smack that doctor.
Right.
Figuratively, not literally. Smack that doctor because...
You're doing a lot of figurative or literally.
No, not literal. Not literal.
Okay.
Figurative slapping today.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't want to say I don't want anybody to think I'm inciting violence. I'm
Yes.
not. But in my head, I'm thinking slap. And this happens because doctors will, you say, well, I have this, whatever. And 10 seconds later, not even that. Okay, knee jerk. This is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, how would you know? You haven't even poked it. You haven't even looked at it. How would you're just going to divine from sitting over there? I could do that myself.
Yeah. No test run, no
Nothing.
anything. Just, you're fine. You just eat. Some people gain weight different. Oh.
So
Thanks.
although the tumor itself wasn't painful, I mean, you can imagine he had high blood pressure, he had shortness of breath, constipation, constant heartburn, and all of his symptoms came down to this sarcoma. He finally went to see a specialist, William Sang. He's a surgical oncologist with Keck Medicine at the University of Southern California. Testing revealed that Hernandez had a liposarcoma, and which is a rare form of cancer that originates in the fat cells, and it developed into a very large tumor in his abdomen. So they did a 6-hour operation. That's a long operation. And they removed the tumor, which is 77 pounds. It was the biggest one that Dr. Sang had ever seen, as you can imagine. Yeah. Dr. Sang is one of the few doctors in the U.S. who specialize in removing large soft tissue sarcomas. He said typically these things are like 20 to 30 pounds. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, it's possible that this tumor will come back.
Yeah. Now, they said at the time that it hadn't gone to other parts of the body, but they did actually end up removing one of his kidneys. They said that it just wasn't functioning anymore. And you got to wonder if the sarcoma had cut off the blood flow to it or had done something that caused
it probably
that kidney to
did.
fail. I mean,
women have our bodies are made to make room, not for 70 pounds, but our bodies are made to make room for an occupier of our, abdomen, right?
Yes.
We have babies, but men's bodies aren't designed to do that.
No.
And so you got to imagine that he was extraordinarily uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So, and here's the thing. Doctors say, well, you have to be an advocate for your own health care. Okay, but in being an advocate for your own health care, are you then going to be branded as somebody who's a hypochondriac and ignored even more?
Yeah.
I mean, so what is the consumer? What is the person who's sick? What are you supposed to do?
Yeah. So the other thing too, and I'm looking at this, and it really strikes me. This guy's got to undergo CT scans every 4 months to monitor his condition because if it comes back, right? And he also is facing thousands of dollars in medical bills. Of course, he's going to the modern way that we fund this stuff, GoFundMe, right? Since the surgery, his symptoms have disappeared. He's about 90% back to normal, he says, and he feels great. But isn't that sad?
Yes.
Isn't that sad that this guy's reduced to begging his friends and family to help cover his expenses as he deals with this?
So, yeah, our medical care in the United States, the system isn't working.
Nope.
It's just not. It's just not. I don't know if single payer is the right answer. I don't know if a market-based is the right answer. Clearly what's happening now, well, I'm inclined to say a market-based solution is the right answer, but whatever we're doing now ain't working.
Yeah.
It's just not.
There's so many areas of our society right now that just aren't working, and I think the level of frustration is very high.
Yeah.
This is one of them.
So Facebook's Sheryl Sandberg, who's the chief operating officer, has come out and said, she's come out and asked the company to probe George Soros following his critical remarks of the company. They want to know if he if he badmouthed Facebook and so that he can make money by selling short.
Wow.
Wow, right?
Right.
So this is according to NBC News. Facebook on oh my gosh, I'm having a hard time with my computer. Facebook on Thursday admitted that not only probed billionaire George Soros's motivations for criticizing the platform, but also potential investments he might have had in the social media juggernaut. In a statement from Facebook, from his Facebook spokesman, it said research on potential motivations for Soros's January tongue lashing of the platform was underway when COO Sheryl Sandberg sent an email inquiring about Soros's possible position on Facebook stock. The admission was a response to a New York Times story Thursday that Sandberg directed senior communications and policy executives to look at Soros's investments following a speech at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, during which he called the social media nefarious. So he's an investor in the company. Then he goes out and badmouths it. And she's like, hold up. Why would anybody do that? Let's find out if it was intentional. In which case, then that's a whole different. I mean, he's impacting the value of the company because he wants to make some money off of it. And did he do that? Well, I guess they're trying to find out.
Yeah, it's fascinating that they're looking into it. I think that's the reasonable thing to do. I think if I had been in her situation, and if I saw him making comments that then affected your stock position, I would definitely want to know what his position was. Was he getting money off of this?
Exactly.
And speaking of people getting money off of stuff, I saw a story yesterday of a couple guys who, and I'm just going to blank on Mayweather, the boxer.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And DJ Khaled, who basically got fined by the SEC because they were pushing investments in cryptocurrency, and they failed to disclose that they were being paid to make those
yeah, that's a big no-no.
Make that pitch.
Right. You got to, that at the end of commercials you see non-attorney paid spokesman, or actor, not an actual customer. Or there's a reason why those disclosures are there, because you have to understand the actual picture when you're talking about dealing with somebody else's money.
Yeah. Yeah. So these guys were getting paid, and they weren't letting people know that they were doing. That's why they were promoting these things, and so now they got hit with fines, and they had to make deals so they didn't go to jail. It's funny.
It is funny. So lots of big things going on this weekend. Festival of Lights is still happening, of course, in at the Mission Inn. Parking over there is hellish. And so, wear comfortable shoes and be prepared to walk wherever you park.
Right.
It's going to be beautiful tonight because, it's right after a storm. And looks like we're not going to have rain again until Wednesday. And then, of course, Christmas Tree Lane is tonight and tomorrow. And
tomorrow is a symphony.
No, that's another week.
It's another week?
Yeah, one more week to the symphony.
I have to wait another week?
You have to wait another week. That's on the 4th.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
I'm so excited to go, though.
I am too.
David Archuleta.
I know. SanBernardinoSymphony.org. You want to go check out the symphony. And it's such a wonderful asset that we have here in the city of San Bernardino, a professional symphony.
This time of year is just amazing. When you go to that Christmas concert, I mean, talk about putting you in the spirit, right?
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. So with that, we'll end with some music.
Ooh, she's going to put on some music, people.
Okay, but it's not symphonic because I already picked it, and it's not symphonic.
Okay.
So have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3.
It's time to say see you later, alligator, to embarrassing and troublesome issues with your skin, nails, and hair with all-natural Cayman alligator oil. Cayman oil is locally made, right in Louisiana, where people have been using alligator oil for centuries to treat all kinds of ailments.